as their guys get set to match up between the Toronto Thunderbirds and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors from north of the border, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. They will be led out by the former Georgia Bulldog. It's Jake Fromm.
And no excitement, unless you're on the defensive team of last week, in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So, I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Number 33, the ball carrier. He's tackled at the 34-yard line.
The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Ross on the return. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Complete
to 13 yards that time at a first.
13 yards.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Number 30
get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
At the 24-yard
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
Here's Haskins to throw. Then he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. It's sacked. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football before he knew it. He was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
They'll throw on first down with Fromm. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
There's a throw in the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
39-yard line.
Out of the shotgun, here's Fromm. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 3 yards to the gain there, second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
A double off to Lacey. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
Remains tied, 0-0.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
Straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
No score after one on EA Sports. Down they run again with Ware, and good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back must be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it up. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up second and 7.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle.
Pass. Complete.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll run on first down. Where? And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined. combined on those last 2 plays. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of this moment?
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Takes it at the 7. And a good-looking return set up here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try?
And he can't escape, and down he goes. Chase Young has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Lacey. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they were able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Haskins on 1st down. That's caught by Ware. And he's into the clear. The 20. Touchdown. A big play there. 79 yards. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Sterling Hoffrichter set to kick off.
Now following the touchdown, Hoffrichter to kick off. This one fielded at the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit. 14-0 to score as they regroup with 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Lacey. He takes this for 3 to the 29. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
To the sideline.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Lacey hit. He lost the football. It's out. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And he's going to bring the football back for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Toronto.
This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0.
Sterling Hoffrichter set to kick off.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you got a talented back, give it back to him.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the gun, it's Fromm. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Now the defense is going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now here's Ross. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here again comes Dwayne Haskins and company. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did.
He's got daylight. And touchdown. DJ Chark. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Early on, you hit on it. Needing to avoid the big play. Easier said than done, though. There's a big touchdown.
Yeah, but the big thing is when he does get his catches, you've got to tackle him and get him on the ground. Obviously, weren't able to do it on that one.
Nothing. Sterling Hoffrichter set to kick off.
Now following the touchdown, Hoffrichter to kick off. From the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half. A first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you have dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out.
Under pressure, and down he goes.
Jake Fromm.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Returning it, John Ross. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
When the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this one up to about the 23.
Number 31.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Second and 5 now. Haskins on the slant. This is Chark. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down, his fourth catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And this is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days in Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time I'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
Well, that's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends, who you would think could absorb that contact.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it'll be Titan football. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. And, Charles, the good news, they got to stop defensively. The bad news, this is a huge hole that they're in right now. How do they start to dig out of it?
That's a great question, because we're not even going to talk about how do they win it, right? We want to see how they can come and claw back and at least make themselves feel better about the game, because this one is likely out of reach, but maybe one possession at a time. Try and play a little bit better and have some respect when you come out of the game.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
A 7-yard loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
At the 48.
Here again comes Dwayne Haskins and company. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep, because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On the ground, this is Ware. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. But now it's 3rd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
To throw on 3rd down. Haskins. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And here's Hoffrichter now, the punter, as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
97's the mic. 97's the mic. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Now from the pass on second down. Pressure comes and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Here's Fromm to throw. He'll set up the screen to Lacy. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Let's take it inside his own 40. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
45-yard line.
Here again comes Dwayne Haskins and company. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. My question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win.
That's what he's done here in this one so far. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
With the score,
Back now in Nashville.
Titans.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The running back again.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll try to run with Ware. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Needing the tough yards, they run to their fullback. And he will have the 1st before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
1st down.
56, the mic, boys. 56. Check.
On 1st down. Ware. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12.
Again, the ball carrier.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 12-yard line.
Here we go. 52. 6-man.
They run again with Ware. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Carry for the running back.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And this offense is running away with this one. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Now, following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Complete.
That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
1st and 10 from. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing is from. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A nice little gain. Reception, good for 7. It's 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw from. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Brought down.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
I got him. Check 52's the mark.
They'll run down clear. And he'll get this one up to the 26.
The ball carried.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And it would appear he's going to be short of a 1st down as he's stopped right around the 29.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move him off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that 1st down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set.
today's.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for our visitors, the win will move them to 7-2 now on.